some more. But we're going to pop in some pieces of this. And we'll get started. So, once again, I've picked out a few stories. I picked out some stories. I've briefly glanced through them. Some of them are a little bit longer, so we'll see how it will go. Let's just jump in. The first one is, am I the a-hole for telling my husband's affair baby's family to either come and get the kid or I'm calling CPS? My F53, soon to be ex-husband Roger, 47, whom I forgive for his affair, came home with a baby 4 months ago. His girlfriend, 22, could not handle it anymore and brought the baby to him at work and left. To the best of his knowledge, she is in Spain. I allowed him to stay so long as I didn't have to do anything. Well, about a month ago, Roger had a heart attack. It didn't kill him. More's the pity. Oh, wow. But he is very weak and incapable of doing anything for himself. Since he isn't up and about, he cannot care for his child. He cannot he also cannot drop off and pick up his son at daycare. I've been helping, but I'm done. My kids are fully grown. I shouldn't be having grandkids anytime soon. I do not have any desire to care for a baby. I told Roger that I want a divorce, and I contacted the mother's parents. I know the father through friends. I said they had until Friday to come and get their grandchild, or I was calling Child Protective Services. They just left with the baby, but they scolded me for being so cold towards a baby that had done me no harm. I view that child differently. Roger is recovering and I will be moving out. The house is in his name, but I have never contributed to it. I have the equivalent of 22 years of rent and interest put away, and as per our prenup, my savings are my own. I work and don't need anything out of this marriage except myself. My kids had tried telling me to stay and help their father. I said they are welcome to come over and help him with cleaning himself and the baby. Both declined what I felt was a fair offer. I do not feel that I am acting badly. However, Roger, our children, his family, his child's family, and a few mutual friends think I am. Perhaps writing this out and seeing responses will give me clarity. Well, that's a super complex situation. I mean, it was his choice to cheat, right? And to end up with a baby. It's not your child. You shouldn't have the responsibility of it. That said, you allowed him to bring that baby into the house, which I don't know if that was the right thing to do, if I'm honest, simply for the fact that you don't care about that baby, and it's not fair for that child to be brought up in a home where they're not loved. And so I don't think that was the right thing to do. She just should not have said that that baby could stay. It's all a bit of a weird timing that, you know, he has his heart attack and then there's a divorce. Which I guess is maybe because, like, I don't know. Because then all of that responsibility is dumped on her. But, like, it feels like you should have divorced a long time ago, and the timing right now is not going to help you. You're going to look like an ass because you're leaving your husband as soon as he has a heart attack, basically. And you know, it's not even a month in, and you're leaving him, getting a divorce. It doesn't look good, but like it's understandable to another degree. I think it's complex. Ultimately, you made the decision to allow that child to be in the house, but like, yeah, it's not your kid, and you're right, you shouldn't have to deal with the situation. It says a lot that the kids are like, oh yeah, we don't want to come and do that, but like, right, look after the baby and look after their father. feels like you didn't really forgive him. That felt like a bit of a lie. You didn't really forgive the affair because you're now using that as leverage for the divorce. Because now things are complicated for you. Now you have to put in that extra work. But at the same time, like, I get it. I think it's very easy to judge this from an outside perspective. But ultimately, it seems way more complex than it actually. No, it seems way more complex than it can. It is more complex than it might seem initially. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. I don't know. I get there's obviously a lot more context in there. You know, I wonder what people have said. Not the AO. Basically, everybody is trying to dump their responsibilities on you. Baby should be with family. Yeah, you're not cold to not want to care. It's weird they wouldn't want to take the kid anyway. I agree. Poor child, your grown kids can take care of their dad. That's true. When he cheated, your relationship ended as he was, and he's not your problem anymore. Well, I don't know if I don't agree with that. It should, like, that is her responsibility to make that decision about the relationship. I guess, again, there might be complicated situations about that, you know. But it seems like the divorce was very easy for them to go through, as that's what she's doing now. So I don't think that's really an excuse to not have done it at the time. Maybe it was the age of the kids. I don't know. But yeah, I don't agree that it ended when he cheated. It ended now. Or it might have seemed like it ended at that point, but she made the choice to stay with him. But again, like I just said, oftentimes there are more complicated situations than that. Different contexts, perhaps. Let's say anyone else, just kind of the same things. Not your responsibility. Should have divorced him long ago, I agree. Yeah, just looking through basically the same things. I don't think she's an a-hole, but I think it definitely comes across as very cold and calculated, but at the same time, like, that's understandable. You kind of have to distance yourself with stuff like that. So I don't disagree. I don't think the actions were. Ultimately it was, you cheated on me, you've dumped this shit on me, and I just want the rest of my life to be peaceful. I'm done with you now. But it's just, it definitely isn't good timing. She should have just done this way before. Because now those kids are probably going to have a perspective of, like, my dad had a heart attack and my mum just left. So you've got to, unless you want, like, that's what's going to be in their mind, unfortunately. Alright, we're going to move on to the next one. Alright. Next one is, am I the a-hole for not letting my wife apologise for sex? My 26M wife, 24, confessed to sleeping with someone else. When I asked her why, she muttered, "He's really muscular." Not after a great start. I told her I need some time to think about it, whether I'll be pursuing divorce or not. I want to know how long they were married. Last night I woke up to find her touching my penis. Well, that is sexual assault. She said she wants to show me she still loves me and tried to take her pyjamas off, but I told her no. She said she doesn't know how else to show me she is sorry and I shouldn't go out of my way to make things difficult for her. Well, first of all, if he says no, it's no. That's sexual assault. So that's not a great start. And also, like, I know I'm lumping context in here and assumptions, but that response from her sounds a lot like trauma. It sounds like something that comes from, like, I don't know how else to show, like, times or in showing it in other ways and working on it. But I don't blame him for being, hesitant about wanting a divorce or not, wanting to end that relationship. Cheating is a pretty nasty deal. Someone says, she's cheated on you, I hope you're finding a divorce lawyer and getting an STD test. Probably a good idea. It's especially bad because of the description of why she cheated, because he's muscular. It's like, okay, well fuck you then. I don't think there's really ever an excuse for cheating. I know that some people might disagree with that when it comes to things like abusive relationships. If you're in a super abusive relationship and you seek comfort in someone else, and you want to leave that person but you can't, for whatever reason, to me, that's, I mean, like, it is like technically cheating, but like from a certain perspective, I don't know if I would consider that cheating, because that would be, like, for me, cheating is like an emotional betrayal, right? So, if you hate that person, like, is it really cheating if you're still married to someone and you despise each other and then one person goes with someone else? It's not really cheating, is it? Because it's not exactly like I don't know. I think there has to be an emotional element there to betray in order for it to be a cheat, like to cheat. Otherwise, maybe the better way to describe it is still cheating, but like they're two different contexts. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just trying to like differentiate. I think it's important to like give context to those sorts of things. Like, if you're in a happy relationship and you cheat on your partner, that should be very different to I'm being physically abused at home and I've met someone who actually makes me feel good and I can't leave home because they might just kill me. That's a little bit different. Anyway, I digress. In the sorts of context, a lot of people are saying she might be trying to get pregnant to keep him, or like she might already be pregnant and trying to like claim that it'll be her husband's. Yeah, but there's not much more to that. Like, it's just sexual assault. This one's a long one, so I'm giving a lot more time for this. The next one is, am I the a-hole for telling my brother he has himself to blame for his wife's cheating? Well, this is going to put our new definition to the test. My older brother, 29M, has always had it easy and got way too comfortable in his situation. He was always the favourite compared to myself, 25F, and my sister, 32F, the handsome kid popular in high school and with the girls, that kind of thing. This is screaming jealousy already. It seems during college he had found a long-term girlfriend, and when he finished up school he married her. It's been 6 years since they married and hasn't done anything. I don't know what that means. Right, his wife has always been a driven, successful woman. How he got her to marry him, I'll never know. Since they married, he has not worked. They don't have kids. He barely does anything around the house. He outright admits it. He gained a considerable amount of weight, developing a crippling porn addiction. He's way too open to admitting it. Is awkward and spends his days with that or gaming. Right. My brother got too used to gliding through life because he always has the pretty and fun. He was always the pretty and fun guy. Now that he has his dream girl, who provided for that house and brought in a ton of money for him, without him having to lift a finger, he stopped trying to contribute at all. His wife works and does all the chores. They're roommates. I've always liked her, and we hang out quite a bit. About 4 years ago, she started doing anything she could to fix the relationship since, of course, my brother manipulated her into believing it was her fault. She tried to set up therapy choose intimacy more often, go back houses, spend time with him, bought expensive things. She spent years and trying everything she could to fix things, believing it was her fault. He didn't try a single thing, outright rejected therapy, mocked her weight even though she practically had a supermodel figure, insisted his weight was fine, refused to lift a finger for the house, kept blaming her for the way things were, saying if she tried more, he would be better. Jeez, okay. Sorry to rescind my previous point. 3 years ago, 3 years later, she was still coming home to him watching porn in a dirty house while she cooked and cleaned. 3 years of her working herself to the bone only to come home to an emotionally abusive husband who beat her down while she still tried to fix her marriage. Oh my gosh, this is a long one. Late last year, she decided she wanted a divorce. My brother became hostile and promised to drag it out and take as much as he could, as apparently they have a prenuptial that he somehow got her to agree to. I know very little about divorce laws, especially in our state, except for that we don't live in an at-fault state, but according to her, if she tried to go forward with it and he got petty, he could take a lot from her. Everything they have is because of her. She decided against divorce. She was trapped with him and accepted it against mine and others' objections. I guess by then she was over his bullshit. She slowly spent more time away from home and claimed she was working on extra hours. Working extra hours, she didn't bother him about therapy or his weight. She actually pretty much stopped interacting with him. She didn't cook anymore. She didn't clean anymore. It didn't take long for her to admit she was spending quite a bit of time with other guys and girls. She never brought anyone home, but was staying out late quite a bit. My brother didn't notice and I didn't care. For years she was beaten down shell. She was a beaten down shell trying to appease someone who didn't respect her. Now she was lively, happy, outgoing and everything she used to be. I'm not happy about her feeling stuck with my brother or the concept of cheating in general, but apparently it works for her. It didn't take long for him to find out. Apparently there were a lot of people she was meeting. He was livid, demanded she stop and threatened divorce. She didn't care. She told him he knew where the door was. It was her home solely, and she was allowing him to stay out of obligation. She told him she would gladly stop if he agreed to a fair divorce without him fighting it, and that she was showing mercy as a provider and a wife by not bringing her parents into their home. Her partners into their home, not her parents. Jesus. The thing is, even if my brother got his way in the divorce, he knew that money would not last at all. Or he knew that money would not last at all, and without any work experience and the shape he was currently in, he would be screwed. He was an overweight slacker who barely had anything to his name, prenup or not. He was stuck. And that's how it's been for nearly a year. She barely comes home anymore with the list of APs that has only gotten larger. My brother has tried going to the gym more, picking up a part-time job, cooking, but it's too late. He had years to fix this and chose only to change when his back was against the wall. He's been begging with me to make her stop and to give their marriage a shot. I told him he's a moron who only had himself to blame. If you beat down a patient and caring person long enough, they will absolutely mess you up. He needs to just accept a divorce in her favour and learn from this. He didn't like my answer at all and hasn't talked to me for a couple of weeks. Okay, well, this is a prime example of what I was literally just talking about, right? I mean, at this point, they're not together. I don't think it's cheat. I don't even think she's cheating on him. They're not together. By law, they're together legally, like it's adultery, right? But like it's not. She doesn't want to be with him. She gave up their relationship. She as far as she is concerned, they're not together anymore. And like he didn't give a shit enough anyway. So like, yeah, I think it goes without saying that the OP is absolutely not the a-hole here at all. The wife should have left a long time ago, but it clearly a lot of gaslighting going on, which, you know, may be exactly the same sort of thing that happened in that very first story, right? Damn, oh yeah, what a dickhead he is. He's a bit of a knob, isn't he? Someone has written, like, this is so funny, like, You'll see. So someone's commented, I came here to say cheating is never okay, just break up. However, I've actually changed my mind. She did try to break up, and after trying to make up for his shortcomings for years, he literally blackmailed her into staying extortion marriage. So not the a-hole, and honestly, neither is your sister-in-law. She checked out of that marriage a long time ago. Some people will say she should still have divorced him and let him take her to the cleaners with assets and alimony, but I kind of admire her for her actions. He made her life a living out while living it up in porn and sloth. She decided to return the favour instead of rewarding it. Now she's the one living it up by having a good life while not giving up all her current and future assets. How absolutely badass of her. Impressive. Incredible. Yeah, this is a good example of like what I'm talking about. So when I was saying like if you're stuck in the relationship, so in this case she's not stuck necessarily by abuse, because I think she is like confident enough now to be like, fuck you, I don't give a shit, you're a loser. But she knows that it will completely destroy her if she leaves purely from, well, maybe not destroy, but like it'll really tank her. She'll have to pay money to him, she'll have to do this, that and the other. And so in her mind she's like, you know, you destroyed this relationship, but fuck it, I'm gonna stay because I'm not letting you destroy me, and I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna go out and do other things. So that's what I mean, like it's not really cheating in the sense that we would usually use it. It's not like a secret affair in a loving relationship. So there we go. Lots of relationship ones today. A little bit about, I'm pretty sure every one of those was involving cheating. There we go, we've got a theme for today's video. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider dropping a like, consider subscribing if you're not already, and check out some of the videos appearing on the side of the screen right now, and I'll see you in whatever video comes next. Take